Thanks for taking the time to stop by, everyone. These black spots that we're seeing under Mare Serenitatis, what are they? And at times, some of these dark spots look almost burnt. There can be so much hiding in these holes that we don't see. And of course, these two water spots, whether they're water spots or not, they're blue spots underneath Eratosthenes crater. And to the left here, Copernicus crater, as we're panning down. There's so many light sources around these areas. Now, look at all the light sources. There's something going on. I mean, each of these light sources, say to yourself, there's activity. There's someone or some being. There's someone there, most definitely, because we would not see some movement and oscillation from all this heat. If it's not volcanoes, and we know it's not that, well then it has to be something unnatural that is causing this billowing light or whatever it may be. You know, Mons Argeas to the right also. At times it's very blue, at times it's not. The lights are billowing. It looks like a bridge of snowballs, if you want. All these odd things that we're looking at. And for some reason, most of these craters and lights and the way everything's placed just looks totally unnatural to me. Now, where did they say that they bombed the moon? Because NASA did declare having bombed the moon, and they also declared they were going to bomb the moon. This was a test done, and I guess there was a massive reverberation from the moon. It rang for hours, I believe, thinking that something to do with the hollow core, I guess, obviously, or the interior being hollow. All these, this is what I believe, there's so many descending caves. For those that remember the old movie The Goonies, remember that? I'm 42, I think. 41, 42. I'm 42. And, or I'm going to be 42. I don't know. I'll tell you later. And, anyways, The Goonies, I remember watching that, and there were all these tunnels under uh, Earth that descended into these caverns and waterfalls and areas with rivers and lakes and massive ships. And I really see the moon as being like that. And I often think sometimes that underneath the moon, I have the impression that there's just a bunch of big ships going around in the water in the dark, hiding and going about their business, and all the companies that could be underneath inside the surface of the moon, all these industries and secrets. And my goodness, are they human? Are they other species? Or have they been there for long? Is it us that went there in the 40s? Have we been there since the 1800s? All these questions that I ask myself, and it's just ever so interesting. And we just, we might not ever know what went on up there. We really might not ever know it. I can't believe that. And it's frustrating. There's Tycho crater that we can see there all by itself. Another interesting crater that has many very high walls all around it. It looks very unnatural. Looking at the bottom side of the moon, big craters here on the bottom left here. Just so much detail to look at. So much detail to look at the surface of the moon. And now they're talking about the asteroid on October 12th coming by, 27,000 kilometers close to Earth. I have no idea how they can be that precise with its closeness, its trajectory, but nevertheless, I cannot wait to try and capture. Whoop, a little UFO just went by. I can't wait to capture the asteroid. I'm hoping I will be able to. Of course, Archimedes crater with the pipe or tunnel sticking out of that edge there. You can see it very bright. You see the difference of the color. Here's a couple of views of Copernicus crater as we're panning over top of it. As we're slowly panning up here to Copernicus, look at the south side of the bottom side of the crater. You could see in the dark shadow movement, oscillation, whether it be movement or not, it's activity, whether it be a movement of a person or being or just a haze or something. It's something, again, it's unnatural on the surface. There are emanating gases and things happening with the craters on the surface of the moon, and there shouldn't be. These craters are hideouts. There's something to each of these craters, and most every crater has entrances. You can see the lights billowing down there right now. They're doing something right now on the surface. We just have a hard time seeing through the wavelengths. Oh boy, what are we looking at now? This is Bianchini Lunar Crater on the moon. It's behind Sinus Iridum. There's a city all around it. And this is what we're looking at, what is over top of the surface supposed ejecta around Bianchini crater. Look what we're seeing. We're seeing different substances, if you want, maybe hazes, gases, clouds, whatever it may be. It's over top, you can see here, of the structures. This is just east of Bianchini crater. Bianchini crater's on the left, top left right now. We're going around the apple bite of Sinus Iridum. This is the crater that's very close to Sinus Iridum. When you back out, you look at Sinus Iridum, there's that crater that you can see there, Bianchini crater. There's a photo of it on Wikipedia. And please do take a look at it because you can see many structuring inside of the crater. Here you see all the bridge, even bridges or pathways that are going. Everything's connected with the haze or smudging, this sort of smudging that's over top of many areas of the structures, whether it be a surface or for them to get around, I don't know, but it's there. See the massive connections, detailed connections too. We're not talking about just pixels here at all. There's not one size the same of any connection. There are domes placed here and there, and this is so bright so you don't see the surface. I got a really nice shot of ejecta near the end that you will see here. Not Sinus Iridum, sorry. It's more at the north side of the moon. Some more colors. Well, here we are. And this, you can see what looks like almost jewel-like objects on the surface. They're not, but they're very bright like jewels, I'll tell you that. It's inside of the ejecta, always giving us back the beautiful color. Look at the pipes to the right of where I'm pointing right now, over top. See the two pipe tunnels coming out of the ejecta. This is not seen because it's very bright all the time, very bright. But by taking down the light, filtering it, you have to get the clearest shot. And no, I'm not able to do this with all the photos, but I try it with every photo, and I document the ones that are nice. The ejecta photos I keep and I document them and I rate the area. Inside of the ejecta, domes, structures, especially pipes and tunnels are like tubing. And I say tubing, it's just basically all this tunnels, these tunnels and pipes, what looks like tunnels and pipes, or symmetrical, flat, um, building-like structures that I'm not sure because we're not close enough. It's not, I don't think it's not being close enough. I checked on Wikipedia. I'm under 100 feet on the surface in many of the photos. The proof is all there. Go send Wikipedia how close they are. They always write the distance from the surface. What are we looking at here? I call this the toothpaste city. Why? Because there are lines of ejecta, as you'll see once we get in a lot closer, around certain supposed craters. And on top of these lines of toothpaste that I call, which is ejecta, known as ejecta, it just looks like toothpaste. It looks like Colgate toothpaste or Crest toothpaste going around. I want you to notice the white bumps on the surface. There are thousands of them. And we will see in detail that this is all structures, whether it be mechanical objects or buildings, I don't know, but they were built. It's on the surface at the north side of the moon, and you can see it very well that it's not natural, very unnatural. Now, watch here, you'll see they're there. Look at that. We're looking at structures on the surface and many anomalies all side by side. Look at all the white bumps everywhere. It looks like, I mean, it's structures, it's objects that are symmetrical. Domes, many domes that you can see. But don't forget, an object looks spherical when you're far out. The closer you get in, the more symmetrical you'll see the more of the edges, if you want. Like something that's square further out does often look circular, cylindrical, when looking from far out. Here's the line of toothpaste underneath. All the structures, they're right there in plain view of everyone. But of course, you have to get in real close to be able to see them properly, but they are there. These are the website contributors, the generous donors who have donated to the Telescope Fund. I'll have that Telescope Fund link up in the description of this video. Thank you to music artist Kevin MacLeod for the music that is in this video. If you want to see his music, incompetech.com is where you gotta go. Bruce Schwartz, that's me.